Inside a high-end restaurant in Manhattan, New York. The ambience is sophisticated, chandeliers gleaming, waiters dressed in crisp black and white uniforms, and patrons clinking glasses of expensive wine. Emma Lane, a gentle, soft-spoken elementary school teacher. She's wearing a simple linen dress, slightly wrinkled but clean and neat. She steps inside, her eyes scanning for her mother, who is already seated. As Emma steps forward, the hostess, Rachel, eyes her from head to toe, her lips pressed into a tight line. The room feels colder, and whispers can be heard. Rachel leans toward a fellow staff member, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "Did she just walk in here dressed like that?" The staff member chuckles, glancing at Emma with a look of disdain. Emma notices the glances but takes a deep breath, straightens her posture, and walks forward, her eyes fixed on her mother. "Stay with us. This story will change the way you look at strangers." Inside the opulent dining room of Le Bouchon, an upscale French restaurant in Manhattan, the scent of truffle oil and aged wine fills the air. Waiters glide between tables, serving dishes garnished with edible gold. The atmosphere is polished and pristine. Emma Lane steps forward, holding her reservation confirmation. Despite her simple linen dress, her posture is confident, though there's a hint of nervousness in her eyes. She's here to celebrate her mother's birthday, a small act of love that she's been saving up for months. Emma approaches the hostess stand, where Rachel stands poised with a clipboard. Rachel's dark, perfectly styled hair and tailored dress radiate an air of superiority. She looks Emma up and down, her expression a mix of disdain and disbelief. Rachel raises an eyebrow. "Are you sure you're in the right place?" Emma forces a polite smile, nodding. She hands Rachel the reservation confirmation. Rachel takes the paper, her manicured nails tapping against it as she glances over it. With a tight-lipped smile, she hands it back. Rachel's voice drips with condescension. "Well, you might feel more comfortable somewhere casual." Emma swallows, her jaw clenched. She glances around, spotting her mother seated alone at a corner table. For a brief moment, her resolve wavers. But then, she straightens her back and walks forward, her eyes fixed on her mother, refusing to let Rachel's words diminish her. Emma sits at the table, her eyes scanning the room, trying to keep her composure. The restaurant is bustling, waiters swiftly carrying plates of lobster tail and glasses of champagne to well-dressed guests. But Emma's table remains empty, not even a glass of water in sight. She shifts uncomfortably, glancing at her mother, who's attempting to mask her discomfort with a forced smile. 10 minutes have passed, yet no one has approached them. The table next to them, however, is a different story. A group of wealthy patrons, adorned in designer outfits, receives immediate attention. Waiters hover over them, pouring wine and laying out appetizers with a flourish. At the hostess stand, Rachel stands with a fellow waiter, Liam. They both cast sidelong glances at Emma and her mother. Rachel leans in, her voice dripping with mockery. "Did she just walk in from a thrift store?" Liam chuckles, shaking his head. "I guess she thought a clearance sale dress would impress us." Meanwhile, a woman at a nearby table whispers to her companion, her gaze fixed on Emma. "She looks like she just walked out of a thrift store." Emma's hands clench under the table. Her mother reaches across and gently pats her hand, a gesture meant to calm her down. But Emma's jaw is tight, her eyes staring straight ahead. The laughter, the whispers, the dismissive glances, they all echo around her, amplifying the feeling of being invisible and unworthy. Emma takes a deep breath, trying to keep her voice steady as she raises her hand slightly to get Rachel's attention. "Excuse me, we've been waiting for over 15 minutes. Could we get some water, please?" Rachel rolls her eyes, sighing dramatically. Before she can respond, the restaurant manager, a tall, stern-looking man named Victor, approaches with a clipboard in hand. His expression is blank, almost dismissive. "Is there a problem here?" he asks, voice flat. Emma forces a polite smile. "We just haven't been served yet. I wanted to make sure our order was received." Victor looks her up and down, his gaze lingering on her simple linen dress and worn-out sandals. "We reserve the right to refuse service to anyone," he says, his voice cold and firm. "You'll have to leave." Emma's eyes widen. She blinks rapidly, as if trying to process what she just heard. "Leave? But we made a reservation. It's my mother's birthday." Victor doesn't flinch. "You're causing a scene," he says louder, glancing around to ensure everyone is watching. The guests nearby pretend to look away, but a few are openly staring. Rachel crosses her arms, a smug grin playing on her lips. Liam snickers under his breath. Emma's mother tugs on her sleeve gently. "It's okay, Emma. Let's just go." But Emma stays seated, her jaw clenched, eyes burning. For a brief moment, the entire restaurant falls silent, the air thick with judgment and discomfort. And just like that, Emma went from being invisible to being humiliated. Emma steps out of the restaurant, her cheeks flushed but her eyes dry. The cool evening air hits her face, grounding her. Behind her, a young waiter named Kevin pulls out his phone and subtly records, smirking as he whispers to a coworker. "Did you see her face?" "Priceless," Kevin chuckles. Emma stands in front of the restaurant's grand entrance, the golden sign reading Louboutin gleaming above her. The sound of clinking glasses and soft jazz filters through the glass doors, a stark contrast to the hollow ache in her chest. She takes a deep breath, her jaw clenched, refusing to let tears spill. With a firm grip, she pulls out her phone, opens the camera, and presses record live. "Hi everyone. I don't usually do this, but..." Her voice trembles for a moment, then steadies. "Tonight, I was just kicked out of a restaurant for not looking the part. I came here to celebrate my mom's birthday, but apparently, wearing a simple dress means you don't deserve respect." She pauses, her eyes scanning the bustling street behind her. Kevin's laughter echoes faintly in the background, but Emma stays focused on the camera. "I wasn't asking for free food or special treatment. Just basic respect, because no one deserves to be treated like they're invisible." Her eyes shine, not with tears, but with determination. She locks her gaze on the camera. "So tell me, have you ever been made to feel like you don't belong? Share your story. Let's talk about it." She ends the live stream, her hand shaking slightly as she lowers the phone. People walking by give her curious glances, but Emma straightens her back, inhaling deeply. "If they wanted to make me feel small, they're about to regret it," she mutters, eyes narrowing as she stares back at the restaurant's entrance. Emma steadies herself, eyes locked onto the camera. The night air is crisp, and the street lights cast a soft glow around her, illuminating her resolve. "I was refused service today. Not because I was rude. Not because I didn't pay. But because I didn't look expensive enough," she says, her voice firm but controlled. The faint sound of laughter echoes behind her as Kevin continues to film, his grin smug. Emma swallows, her jaw tightening. "I'm a teacher. I save every penny I earn, and tonight, I saved enough to take my mom out for her birthday." Her hand shakes slightly, but she keeps the camera steady, refusing to let her emotions break through. "You know, they say a place like this is about class. But what class is it when you judge someone by their clothes? When you assume that because someone isn't dripping in designer brands, they don't belong?" She takes a shaky breath, looking down at her simple dress. "This dress? It's a gift from my mom. She worked overtime to buy it for me on my first day of teaching. But to them, it's just a sign that I don't matter." Emma's eyes flash with determination. "Well, tonight, I'm going to make sure everyone hears my story. Because no one deserves to feel invisible. No one." She ends the live stream, her heart pounding. Around her, a few passers-by have started to watch, curious about what just happened. Kevin puts his phone away, still smirking, unaware that Emma's words are about to echo far beyond this street corner. The next morning, Emma wakes up to her phone buzzing nonstop. She blinks, still groggy, and notices hundreds of notifications. Messages, comments, tags, all flooding in. She opens her social media app, and her heart skips a beat. Her video has gone viral. It's been shared thousands of times, with countless comments pouring in. The caption she wrote, "Kicked out for not looking rich enough," has become a rallying cry. Emma scrolls through the comments. "I can't believe they treated you like that. Disgusting. I had a similar experience at that same restaurant. They act like they're above everyone. Thank you for speaking up. People need to know what's really going on." Emma's eyes well up. She wasn't expecting this level of support. As she continues scrolling, she notices something else. People have started leaving one-star reviews for Louboutin, calling out the restaurant's discrimination. They kicked out a hard-working teacher because she wasn't dressed like a millionaire. Is this what they call class? Louboutin equals le trash. Won't be coming back. Emma puts her phone down, her hands shaking. This wasn't what she intended, but now the story has taken on a life of its own. Meanwhile, inside the restaurant, Rachel and Kevin are huddled together, their faces pale as they read the avalanche of negative reviews. Kevin's jaw clenches. "This can't be happening," he mutters, eyes darting around nervously. But it is happening, and it's only just begun. 24 hours later, the ripple effect of Emma's video has reached far beyond social media. News anchors on local TV stations recount the story, showing clips of Emma's viral video and the growing backlash against Labuchin. Outside her small apartment, a news van pulls up. A reporter steps out, microphone in hand. Emma watches through the blinds, heart pounding. She's never been in the spotlight like this. A knock at the door. Emma opens it to find the reporter smiling sympathetically. "Emma Lane? I'm Lisa Grant from Channel 9. Your story has touched so many people. Do you have a moment to share your side of things?" Emma hesitates, her mind racing. Part of her wants to close the door and hide. But then she remembers the dozens of messages she received from other people who were humiliated for not fitting a certain look. She steps outside, takes a deep breath, and nods. "I'm not here to attack anyone," Emma says, her voice firm but calm. "I just think people deserve dignity, no matter how they dress." The reporter leans forward, eyes intent. "What do you hope comes from all this?" Emma looks down, then back at the camera. "I hope people remember that appearances don't define worth, and that kindness is a choice, one we should all make." The camera pans to the reporter, who wraps up the segment. "You heard it here, a simple woman standing up for respect and dignity, reminding us all of what truly matters." Meanwhile, at Labuchin, Rachel and Kevin watch the news broadcast in stunned silence. Kevin clenches his fists, his jaw tight. "We need damage control now." The backlash against Labuchin is swift and relentless. Negative reviews flood their online pages. Comments like "disrespectful staff," "shameful treatment," and "avoid this place" dominate their social media feed. Inside the restaurant, the atmosphere is tense. Rachel sits behind the counter, staring blankly at her phone. The screen flashes with angry notifications and news articles criticizing the restaurant. Kevin, the manager, paces back and forth, jaw clenched. "This is a PR nightmare." Kevin snaps, slamming his fist on the counter. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" Rachel's eyes well up with tears. I didn't mean to." "Didn't mean to what? Humiliate a paying customer?" "This is going to cost us everything," Kevin hisses, his face red with anger. The front door swings open, and a courier rushes in with an envelope. Kevin tears it open, eyes scanning the letter. His shoulders slump. "We're suspended pending investigation. Corporate wants a public apology. And Rachel, you and I are both suspended until further notice." Rachel gasps, covering her mouth. "But it was just one woman. How did it get this bad?" Cut to Emma's small apartment. She sits on her couch, scrolling through messages. A notification pops up, an email from another restaurant. "Dear Emma, we saw what happened to you at Labuchin. We'd be honored to host you and your mother for a complimentary dinner. You deserve better." Emma blinks in disbelief as more messages pour in. Offers from multiple upscale restaurants, invitations for interviews, even a few sponsorship inquiries. She puts her phone down and takes a deep breath. The world is finally listening. The camera zooms in on a small community center packed with people. Emma stands at the front, holding a microphone, her presence calm yet powerful. Behind her, a banner reads, "Dress doesn't define dignity," in bold letters. Emma takes a deep breath, scanning the crowd. Her voice is steady, but there's a fire in her eyes. "A few days ago, I walked into a restaurant just to celebrate my mother's birthday. But instead of being welcomed, I was judged for the clothes on my back, not the heart I carry." The audience listens intently, nodding. Some wipe away tears. Emma continues, "I am a teacher. I spend my days shaping young minds, reminding them that their worth isn't tied to a price tag. Yet, in that moment, I was made to feel invisible, as if I didn't belong." A few people in the crowd exchange glances, visibly moved. "But I'm not here for revenge. I'm here to say that our dignity isn't determined by what we wear. It's determined by how we treat one another." Applause erupts. The camera pans over to a woman in the audience, Rachel, the former hostess from Labuchin, her eyes downcast, tears streaming down her face. Emma and her mother sit at a cozy family-owned diner, the warm glow of the evening sun casting a soft light over them. The table is adorned with simple yet delicious dishes, a stark contrast to the luxurious setting of Louboutin. Emma's mother takes a bite of her favorite pie, her eyes glistening with gratitude. "This is the best birthday I've ever had," she says, reaching across the table to squeeze Emma's hand. Emma smiles, a weight visibly lifted from her shoulders. Despite the humiliation she faced earlier, this moment, here, surrounded by genuine warmth and kindness, feels more fulfilling than any upscale restaurant ever could. "You didn't have to go through all that just for me," her mother says, her voice gentle yet concerned. Emma shakes her head, her eyes soft. "I didn't do it for them. I did it for you, and for anyone who's ever been made to feel less because of what they wear." Her mother nods, eyes brimming with pride. "Well, today you reminded them, and me, that dignity isn't worn. It's lived." The camera pulls back, capturing the intimate, heartwarming scene. The clinking of plates, the quiet chatter of other diners, the genuine smiles exchanged across the room, all reinforce the sense of community and belonging that Emma sought all along. Respect isn't something you earn with your clothes. It's something you give with your heart. In a world that still judges by appearance, be the voice that reminds others of dignity. Stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves. Speak out, even when it's uncomfortable. If this story moved you, like and comment below. Your words can inspire someone else to stand up too. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that kindness matters more than appearance. Let's spread the message together. Subscribe to our channel for more stories that restore faith in humanity, because every voice matters. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a moment that matters. You never know whose life your share might impact.